My name is Elsie, and I am 57 years old. 3 days ago, I canceled a $17,000 Christmas vacation. You might think that sounds crazy, but let me tell you what my daughter did. She planned to dump me on Christmas Day and run off with her husband and his parents on the trip I paid for. They had a secret group chat plotting behind my back. So I canceled everything. And at 7 in the morning on December 20th, when they showed up at the airport expecting their free vacation, they got the surprise of their lives. Before I tell you what happened next, I would love to know where you are watching from. If you have ever felt used by someone you love, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe, because this story gets better. Now let me take you back to where it all began. I have been a widow for 7 years. My husband passed away from a stroke when I was 50, and it shattered my world. We had built a beautiful life together in Phoenix, Arizona. After he died, I threw myself into work as a financial advisor trying to fill the emptiness. 2 years ago, I finally retired. I thought retirement would bring peace, but mostly it brought loneliness. I have one daughter. Her name is Hannah, and she is 30 years old. I raised her to be strong, independent kind. After my husband died, Hannah was my rock. We talked every day. She would come over for dinner twice a week. We went shopping together, watched movies, shared everything. When she met Tyler 3 years ago, I was happy for her. He seemed like a good man. He worked in marketing, had a steady job, treated Hannah well. They got married in a small ceremony, and I welcomed him into our family with open arms. Tyler's parents are Patricia and Robert. Patricia is 60, a retired teacher with strong opinions about everything. Robert is 62, owns a small business selling insurance. From the beginning, I sensed they were not warm people. At the wedding, Patricia made comments about the flowers being too expensive. Robert complained about the venue. But I smiled and stayed polite. They were my daughter's new family, and I wanted everyone to get along. After the wedding, I noticed Hannah pulling away. Our twice-weekly dinners became once a week, then twice a month. Phone calls got shorter. When I asked if everything was okay, she always said she was just busy with work and married life. I tried not to take it personally. Marriage changes things. I understood that. But deep down, it hurt. The holidays were the hardest. The first Christmas after my husband died, Hannah spent the morning with me, but left by noon to be with Tyler's family. The second year she came for an hour. Last year she texted me Merry Christmas and said they were spending the day at Patricia and Robert's house. I spent Christmas alone, crying into my coffee, wondering how my daughter and I had drifted so far apart. This year, I decided things would be different. In October, I came up with an idea. A big family Christmas vacation. Something to bring us all together, create new memories, bridge the gap that had grown between Hannah and me. I imagined us laughing around a fireplace, making hot chocolate, taking family photos in the snow. It would be perfect. I called Hannah one evening in late October. "Tell me what you think of this idea," I said. "What if we all went to Aspen for Christmas, a big family trip? We could rent a beautiful cabin, go skiing, have Christmas dinner together. Just us." There was silence on the other end. Then Hannah said, "That sounds nice, Mom. But it is just you and me." "No," I said quickly. "You and Tyler, of course. And I would love for Patricia and Robert to come too. The more the merrier, right? I will take care of everything. My treat. I just want us all together." Hannah hesitated. I could hear it in her voice, but finally she said, "Let me talk to Tyler. I will get back to you." 2 days later, she called and said yes. Everyone was on board. I felt so happy I almost cried. This was it. This was how I would get my daughter back. I spent the next few weeks planning every detail. I found the most gorgeous cabin in Aspen. 5 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows with mountain views, a stone fireplace, a gourmet kitchen. It cost $9,000 for 5 nights from December 20th to December 25th. I did not even blink. This was worth it. Then I booked flights for all 6 of us. Round trip from Phoenix to Denver business class. $6,000. I wanted everyone to be comfortable. I reserved a large SUV for $800 to drive us from Denver to Aspen. I even pre-ordered a special Christmas dinner from a high-end restaurant in Aspen, complete with prime rib lobster tails and all the trimmings. $1,200. The total came to just over $17,000. It was a lot of money, but I had saved well. My retirement fund was healthy, and more importantly, this was my family. What good was money if I could not use it to bring the people I loved together? In early November, I sent everyone an email with the itinerary. Flight leaves at 10 in the morning on December 20th. Please be at the airport by 8. I included photos of the cabin, details about the activities we could do, and a list of what to pack. Tyler replied first. "This looks amazing, Elsie. Thank you so much for putting this together. You are incredibly generous." Patricia sent a short message. "Very nice. See you then." Hannah called me that night. "Mom, this is too much. You should not be spending all this money. I want to," I told her. "I want us to have a real Christmas together. It has been too long." She went quiet for a moment, then said, "Okay. Thank you, Mom. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart." Everything seemed perfect. But in mid-November, things started to feel off. I texted Hannah asking if she needed help packing or if she had any special requests for meals. She replied hours later with one-word answers. "Sure. Fine. Whatever." I called Patricia to discuss the Christmas menu, thinking maybe we could plan it together. She sounded distracted. "Oh, yes. That sounds fine, Elsie. Whatever you think is best." Then she got off the phone quickly, saying she had another call. One afternoon, I stopped by Hannah's house unannounced. I had picked up some ski gloves on sale and wanted to give them to her. When I walked in, Hannah was on her phone in the kitchen. She did not see me at first. I heard her say quietly, "No, she does not know yet. We will tell her closer to the date." When she turned and saw me, her face went pale. "Oh, Mom, I did not hear you come in. Who were you talking to?" I asked. "Just a friend," she said quickly, shoving her phone into her pocket. "What are you doing here?" I held up the gloves. "Thought you might need these for the trip." She took them without much enthusiasm. "Thanks." The whole interaction felt wrong, but I pushed the feeling down. I was probably overthinking things. Hannah was just stressed with work. That had to be it. The first real crack appeared on December 13th, exactly 1 week before we were supposed to leave. Hannah came over to pick up some old photo albums she wanted. We were in the kitchen when her phone buzzed on the counter. She had gone outside to grab something from her car, leaving the phone behind. The notification lit up the screen. It was a message in a group chat called Real Aspen Plan. I would not normally look at someone else's phone, but that name caught my attention. Real Aspen Plan. What did that mean? The message was from Patricia. "So we are all set for the alternate cabin, right? H will tell E at the last minute." My heart started pounding. I knew I should not, but I picked up the phone. It was not locked. I opened the group chat. The members were Hannah, Tyler, Patricia, and Robert. I was not included. I scrolled up and started reading. The messages went back to late November. November 25th. Tyler wrote, "My parents found a better cabin. Cheaper too. We should just go there instead." Hannah replied, "But my mom already booked everything." Patricia wrote, "Well, she can cancel and rebook, or we just do not tell her until the last minute." Robert added, I agree with Patricia. Why waste money on that expensive place when we found a better deal? Hannah wrote. I feel bad, though. Tyler's response made my blood run cold. Do not. She offered to pay. She wants to spend time with family. She will get over it. Hannah wrote back. Okay, but how do we tell her? Patricia replied. Simple. We just say there was a mix-up and we need to switch cabins. She will not make a fuss if we present it as a done deal. Robert wrote, and if she does, we will just go without her. We will still have Christmas together. I read the entire conversation 3 times, my hands shaking. They were planning to use my money, then ditch me. My own daughter was part of this. She had hesitated, yes, but she had agreed. She had chosen Tyler and his parents over me. The front door opened. Hannah walked back in, saw me holding her phone, and froze. Mom. I set the phone down carefully on the counter. My voice came out steady, though I felt like I was breaking apart inside. I think you should leave. Mom let me explain. Leave. Now. She grabbed her phone and rushed out. I heard her car start and pull away. Then I sat down at the kitchen table and let myself cry. Not loud, messy sobs, just quiet tears running down my face as I stared at nothing. How had it come to this? I had given Hannah everything. After her father died, I worked extra hours to pay for her college so she would not have student loans. I helped with her wedding. I bought her and Tyler their first couch, their dining room table. I showed up for every birthday, every holiday, every moment that mattered. And this was how she repaid me, by plotting behind my back with people who saw me as nothing more than a wallet. I sat there for a long time thinking, remembering. When Hannah was 7, she broke her arm falling off her bike. I held her in the emergency room singing her favorite song to calm her down. When she was 16 and her first boyfriend broke her heart, I stayed up all night listening to her cry. When she graduated college, I was in the front row cheering louder than anyone. Where had that little girl gone? When had she become someone who would betray her own mother? The tears stopped eventually. In their place came something else. Anger. Cold, clear anger. They thought I was weak. They thought I would just accept whatever they decided. That I would smile and go along with their plan because I was too afraid of losing them. They were wrong. That night I made a decision. I was not going to confront them. I was not going to beg or plead or try to change their minds. I was going to let them think their plan was working. And then at the perfect moment, I was going to pull the rug out from under them. The morning after I found the group chat, I woke up with a plan. I needed to be strategic. If I confronted them now, they would just make excuses, gaslight me, maybe even turn it around and make me the villain. No, I needed to wait. I needed them to feel secure in their betrayal, and then I would strike. First, I called the travel company that handled the cabin rental. I need to ask about your cancellation policy, I said. The representative explained that I could cancel up to December 18th and receive 80% of my money back. After that, the deposit was non-refundable. Perfect. I marked December 17th on my calendar. Next, I called the airline. Their policy was similar. Cancellations up to December 17th would incur a $200 fee per ticket, but I would get most of the money back. After that, no refunds. The car rental company said I could cancel any time before December 19th with no penalty. The restaurant would refund the deposit if I canceled at least 48 hours in advance. I did the math. If I canceled everything on December 17th, I would lose about $4,000 in fees and non-refundable deposits. But I would get back $13,000. More importantly, they would be left with nothing. No cabin, no flights, no Christmas vacation. The thought made me smile for the first time in days. For the next week, I put on the performance of my lifetime. I texted Hannah cheerful messages about the trip. Do not forget your warmest coat, honey. I sent Patricia a recipe for mulled wine I thought we could make together. I emailed Tyler a list of ski slopes near the cabin. Every message I sent, I knew they were reading and probably laughing at me behind my back. Poor Elsie, so clueless, so easy to manipulate. Let them laugh. Their time was coming. Hannah called me on December 15th. Her voice sounded strained. Mom, I just wanted to say I am sorry about the other day. I overreacted. I kept my voice warm and forgiving. It is okay, sweetheart. I know you have been stressed. We will talk more when we are all together in Aspen. Okay? She sounded relieved. Okay. Thanks, Mom. I love you. I love you too. After I hung up, I stared at my phone. She had not apologized for the group chat. She had not confessed. She was still planning to betray me, and she was letting me believe everything was fine. That hurt almost more than the original betrayal. On December 16th, Patricia sent a group text to everyone. So excited for tomorrow. Cannot wait to see that beautiful cabin. I replied with a smiley face emoji. Me too, Tyler responded. Thanks again, Elsie. This is going to be an amazing Christmas. Robert wrote, looking forward to it. Hannah added, see everyone at the airport. I read their messages and felt nothing but cold determination. December 17th arrived. I woke up at 6 a.m, made myself a strong cup of coffee, and got to work. First, I called the cabin rental company. I need to cancel my reservation. The woman on the phone sounded sympathetic. Oh no. Is everything all right? Family emergency, I said smoothly. We cannot make the trip. I am so sorry to hear that. Let me process the cancellation for you. Within 10 minutes, it was done. The $9,000 cabin was canceled. I would get back about $7,000. Next, the airline. I canceled all 6 tickets. Lost $1,200 in fees, but got back $4,800. The car rental. Canceled with no penalty. The restaurant. Canceled full refund of the deposit. By 7:30 that morning, everything was gone. The entire trip erased. I sat back in my chair and took a deep breath. It was done. Now came the hard part. Waiting. I did not tell anyone. Not Hannah, not Patricia, not anyone. I wanted them to find out on their own in the worst possible way. I wanted them to show up at the airport excited for their free vacation and discover there was nothing waiting for them. December 18th and 19th crawled by. I kept up the act, sending cheerful messages about packing and meeting times. Hannah called on the evening of the 19th. Mom, I just wanted to confirm. We are meeting at the airport at 8 tomorrow morning, right? That is right, I said. See you there. Great. Mom. Yes. She hesitated. Never mind. See you tomorrow. I knew what she had been about to say. She had been about to confess, to tell me about their alternate plan. But she had chickened out, and now it was too late. That night I barely slept. I kept imagining the moment they would realize what I had done. Part of me felt guilty, but a bigger part felt powerful. For the first time in years, I was not the one being controlled. I was in charge. I set my alarm for 6:30, even though I knew I would not be going to the airport. I wanted to be awake when they called. I wanted to hear the panic in their voices. December 20th, the day everything came crashing down for them. I woke up before my alarm around 6 a.m. The house was quiet. Outside, the sky was still dark, stars fading as dawn approached. I made coffee and sat in my kitchen waiting. I knew their routine. Tyler and Hannah would wake up around 6:30. They would shower, finish packing, drive to pick up Patricia and Robert. They would all head to the airport together, arriving around 7:30 for the 10 o'clock flight. Sometime around 7, one of them would try to check in online or confirm the reservation. That was when they would discover the truth. I sipped my coffee, slowly watching the clock. 6:15, 6:30, 6:45. At 7:03, my phone rang. Hannah. I let it ring 3 times before answering. "Good morning, honey." Her voice was high-pitched, panicked. "Mom, what happened?" "The airline says our tickets were canceled." I took another sip of coffee, keeping my voice calm. "Yes, I canceled them." "What? Why? We are supposed to leave in 3 hours?" "I know, but we are not going." There was a stunned silence. Then she said, "What are you talking about?" "Mom, this is not funny. I am not joking, Hannah. I canceled everything. The flights, the cabin, the rental car, the Christmas dinner, all of it." Another silence, longer this time. Then in a smaller voice she said, "Why would you do that?" I set my coffee cup down. "Because I know about your plan." I saw the group chat. I heard her breath catch. "Mom, I can explain." "Explain what?" "How you and Tyler and his parents planned to use my money and then ditch me. How you all talked about me behind my back like I was some kind of fool." She started crying. "It was not like that. It was exactly like that, Hannah. I read every message. She will get over it. That is what Tyler said. Was it not? If she makes a fuss, we will just go without her. Those were your backup plans." She was sobbing now. "I am sorry, Mom. I am so sorry. Sorry does not fix this. You treated me like an ATM, like someone whose only value is writing checks." I heard voices in the background. Tyler was asking what was wrong. Hannah said something I could not make out. Then Tyler came on the line. "Elsie, I think you are overreacting." His tone was condescending, like he was talking to a child. It made my anger flare hotter. "Overreacting," I said. "I spent $17,000 to bring this family together for Christmas, and you all plotted to betray me." "We just found a better deal," he said. "We were going to tell you." When were you going to tell me at the airport on Christmas Eve?" "Do not lie to me." His voice hardened. "Fine. You want the truth?" "Patricia and Robert thought your cabin was too expensive and pretentious. They found something simpler, more their style." "Then they should have told me I said. Or better yet, they should have paid for it themselves." "You offered to pay, I offered to pay for a family trip. Not to be disrespected and discarded." "This is ridiculous," Tyler said. "You are ruining Christmas over a misunderstanding." "No, Tyler. You ruined Christmas when you convinced my daughter to betray me." "Goodbye." I hung up. Immediately the phone started ringing again. I ignored it. Text messages started flooding in. From Hannah. "Mom, please. We need to talk." From Patricia Elsie. "I think there has been a misunderstanding." From Robert. "This is childish. You are being unreasonable." I read each one and deleted it. Then I turned off my phone completely. The house fell silent again. I sat there in the stillness, watching the sun rise through my kitchen window. The sky turned from black to deep blue to pale orange. It was beautiful. I thought about them at the airport, probably arguing, scrambling to figure out what to do. I thought about all the plans they had made without me, all the conversations where they had dismissed me as someone who would just go along with whatever they decided. Well, they knew better now. At 7:15, I made myself breakfast. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. I ate slowly, savoring each bite. For the first time in months, I felt free. The rest of December 20th passed in a strange kind of peace. I turned my phone back on around noon. There were 43 missed calls and 62 text messages. I scrolled through them without opening most of them. Hannah had called 17 times. Her texts progressed from apologetic to desperate. "Mom, please call me back. Mom, we are still at the airport. Mom, I am begging you. Please." Patricia had sent several messages, each one colder than the last. "Elsie, this is not how adults handle disagreements. You have embarrassed us all. This behavior is unacceptable." Robert wrote, "You made your point. Now let's all be mature about this." Tyler sent one message. "I hope you are happy." I was not happy exactly, but I was satisfied. They had learned that I was not someone to be used and discarded. Around 2 in the afternoon, I sent one reply to Hannah. "When you are ready to have an honest conversation, let me know. Until then, I need space." She responded immediately. "Can we talk now?" "Please." I turned off my phone again. I was not ready. Not yet. The next few days were quiet. I spent December 21st reading a book I had been meaning to finish for months. December 22nd, I baked cookies and watched old movies. December 23rd, I went for a long walk in the park near my house. On December 24th, Christmas Eve, Hannah sent an email. It was long, several paragraphs. I read it sitting at my kitchen table with a cup of tea. "Mom, I do not even know where to start. I am so sorry. What I did was wrong. What we all did was wrong. You planned this beautiful trip, spent all that money, and we repaid you by plotting behind your back. There is no excuse for that. I want you to know that I feel terrible. Tyler and I have been fighting about this for days. I told him he should never have suggested we go along with his parents' plan. He says I am overreacting, but I do not think I am. You are my mother. You have given me everything, and I treated you like you did not matter. Patricia and Robert are angry at you for canceling, but I told them they have no right to be angry. They were the ones who started this whole thing. They found that other cabin and convinced Tyler it was a better idea. Tyler convinced me, and I went along with it because I did not want to make waves with his family. But in doing that, I betrayed my own family. I betrayed you. I do not know if you can forgive me. I do not know if I deserve forgiveness. But I want you to know that I love you and I am sorry. I will do whatever it takes to make this right. Please call me when you are ready. Love, Hannah." I read the email 3 times. Part of me wanted to call her right away to hear her voice to start rebuilding, but another part of me was not ready. The wound was still too fresh. I sent a short reply. "I appreciate your apology, Hannah, but I need more time." Christmas Day arrived cold and clear. I woke up in my empty house and felt the familiar ache of loneliness. But it was different this time. Yes, I was alone, but I was alone by choice. I was not being excluded. I was not being used. I had taken control of my own life, and that meant something. I made myself a nice breakfast. Pancakes with blueberries, crispy bacon, scrambled eggs with cheese. I ate at my dining room table with Christmas music playing softly in the background. Around 11, my phone rang. It was my friend Laura. We had known each other for 15 years, both widows, both navigating life alone. "Merry Christmas," she said. "How are you doing?" "I am okay," I said. "Actually, can I tell you something?" "Of course." I told her everything. The planned trip, the group chat, the cancellation, all of it. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, "Good for you." "Really? Really?" "Elsie, You have spent your whole life putting everyone else first. Your husband, your daughter, everyone. It is about time you stood up for yourself." I started crying. Not sad tears, relief tears. "It feels good," I admitted, "but it also feels scary." "Change always does," Laura said. "Listen, I am at home alone too. Want some company? I would love that." She came over an hour later with a bottle of wine and a homemade apple pie. We spent the afternoon talking, laughing, watching classic Christmas movies. It was not the Christmas I had planned, but it was good. It was real. On December 26th, I woke up feeling lighter. I made coffee and sat on my back patio, watching birds flit around the feeder I had hung last spring. The air was cool but not cold. Arizona winters were mild. My phone buzzed. A text from Hannah. "Mom, I am coming over. I need to talk to you. Please do not turn me away." I thought about saying no, but I also knew we needed to face each other eventually. "Okay," I replied. She arrived 20 minutes later. When I opened the door, I barely recognized her. Her eyes were red and swollen, her face pale. She looked like she had not slept in days. "Come in," I said. We sat in the living room across from each other. Neither of us spoke for a long moment. Finally, Hannah said, "I do not know how to fix this." "I do not know either," I said. She started crying. "I messed up, Mom. I know I did. And I do not have any excuses. Tyler and his parents, they just kept pushing the idea, and I felt stuck in the middle. But that does not make it right. I should have told them no. I should have defended you. You should have." I agreed. "I know." She wiped her eyes. "Tyler and I had a huge fight. I told him what he said about you was unacceptable. He said I was being dramatic. I told him if he could not respect my mother, I did not know if I could stay married to him." I looked at her sharply. "What did he say?" "He apologized." "Sort of. But I do not think he really gets it." And Patricia and Robert Hannah shook her head. "They think you overreacted. They said you were being petty and vindictive. I told them they were wrong, but they would not listen." I sighed. "Hannah, I need you to understand something. This was not just about the trip. This was about respect. You all treated me like I did not matter, like my feelings were irrelevant." "I know," she whispered. "I loved you enough to give you everything. I worked extra hours to pay for your college. I helped with your wedding. I have always been there for you, and you took that for granted." She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "You are right. I did, and I am so sorry." I looked at my daughter, this woman I had raised, and felt a mix of love and sadness. "I forgive you," I said slowly, "but things cannot go back to the way they were. I need you to show me, not just tell me that you respect me." "I will," she said. "I promise I will." She stood up and hugged me. I hugged her back, but it felt different. There was a distance there that had not existed before. Trust once broken is hard to rebuild. After she left, I sat alone in my quiet house. I did not know what the future held for Hannah and me, but I knew one thing for certain. I would never let anyone make me feel worthless again. January and February passed slowly. Winter in Phoenix was beautiful, the desert blooming with wildflowers after the rain. I spent those months rebuilding my life, rediscovering who I was outside of being someone's mother, someone's wife. I joined a book club at the local library. We met every other Thursday to discuss everything from classic literature to contemporary fiction. The women were smart, funny kind. For the first time in years, I had friends who knew me as Elsie, not as Hannah's mom or someone's widow. In late January, I took a trip by myself to Charleston, South Carolina. I had always wanted to see the historic mansions and walk along the waterfront. I spent 4 days exploring the city, eating at small restaurants, wandering through gardens. It was the first time I had traveled alone, and I loved it. There was freedom in making my own schedule, answering to no one. Hannah and I talked every week, but our conversations were different now. She was making an effort, I could tell. She invited me to dinner twice a month. She texted me articles she thought I would find interesting. She asked about my book club, my trip, my life. But I kept boundaries. When she asked me to help her redecorate her living room, I said no. I have plans that weekend. When she hinted that she and Tyler were struggling financially, I did not offer money. I listened, sympathized, but did not solve the problem for her. She needed to learn that I was not an endless resource to be tapped whenever convenient. Tyler and I barely spoke. He sent me a stiff apology via text in mid-January. I replied, "Thank you." Nothing more. Patricia and Robert never apologized. In fact, Patricia sent me a message in early February saying she was disappointed in how I had handled things and that she hoped I would learn to be more flexible in the future. I blocked her number. In March, Hannah came over for coffee. We sat on my patio enjoying the warm spring air. "Mom," she said, "I want you to know I have been thinking a lot about what happened." I sipped my coffee and waited. I realized I let Tyler's family become more important than my own. I put their opinions and their comfort above yours, and that was wrong. I nodded. "I appreciate you saying that. I am working on setting boundaries with them," she continued. "It is hard, but I am doing it. And I am also working on my marriage. Tyler and I are in counseling." "That is good," I said. "I hope it helps." She smiled a small, sad smile. "I just wanted you to know I am trying." I reached over and squeezed her hand. "I know you are." Our relationship was healing slowly, but it would never be what it was. And maybe that was okay. Maybe the old relationship had been unbalanced with me giving too much and her taking too much. Maybe this new version with boundaries and respect was healthier. In April, Laura and I planned another trip, this time to Sedona. We hiked through Red Rock canyons, watched the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink, talked about life and loss and moving forward. One evening, sitting on the balcony of our hotel room, Laura said, "You seem different. Happier." "I am," I said. "I think I finally learned how to put myself first." She raised her glass of wine. "To putting ourselves first." I clinked my glass against hers. "To putting ourselves first." It has been almost a year since that December morning when I canceled the trip. A year since I stood up for myself in a way I never had before. Looking back, I do not regret it. Not for a second. Yes, I lost $17,000. Well, closer to $4,000 after the refunds. But what I gained was far more valuable. I gained my self-respect. I gained the knowledge that I do not have to accept mistreatment even from people I love. I gained the understanding that being kind does not mean being a doormat. Hannah and I have found a new rhythm. We are not as close as we once were, but our relationship is more honest now. She knows I will not tolerate being used or taken for granted, and she is learning to value what I offer, not just expect it. Tyler and I are polite but distant. I do not think he has ever truly understood why what he did was so hurtful, but that is his issue to work through, not mine. I have filled my life with things that bring me joy, my book club, my travels, my friendships, my hobbies. I started painting again, something I had not done since before my husband died. I am not very good, but I enjoy it. I take long walks every morning, listening to podcasts and audiobooks. I volunteer at the local animal shelter on weekends. I am 58 now, and I am finally learning how to live for myself. Not for my daughter, not for anyone else. For me. That Christmas morning at 7, when I canceled everything, I did not just cancel a trip. I canceled the version of myself who accepted disrespect in the name of keeping the peace. I canceled the habit of putting everyone else's needs before my own. I canceled the belief that love means letting people walk all over you. And in doing so, I found something far more valuable than any holiday gathering or family vacation. I found my self-worth. I found my voice. I found the strength to say no, to set boundaries, to demand better. That is a gift I will never let anyone take away again. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where someone you loved took you for granted? Have you ever felt used, dismissed, or undervalued by the people closest to you? Drop a comment below and share your story. I would love to hear how you handled it. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss future stories. And share this video with anyone who needs a reminder that standing up for yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it encourages you to value yourself, to set boundaries, and to never let anyone make you feel like you do not matter. You do matter. Your feelings are valid. Your needs are important. Take care of yourselves. And remember, sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is the courage to walk away from people who do not appreciate you. Wishing you all strength, peace, and a life filled with people who truly cherish you.